Hi chat room, say hello to the YouTube.
Hi YouTube. Hello, hello, hello.
And here we go. This room is now in subscribers mode only. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Noble, and this is today's news. Hello everyone, and welcome people on the YouTube, welcome beloved people in the Twitch chat room. It's the end of the month, which means that we do the end of the month Q&A. This is where I take an hour out of the stream. I do this every end of the month, where I answer questions from the chat room, those that have subscribed to Twitch, and this is my way of saying thank you to those who went above and beyond to subscribe to the channel. This is my way of saying thank you everybody, and give a little reward. Now does that mean that you have to subscribe in order to ask me questions and get some answers out of me? Absolutely not. You can always send me a message on Facebook, a private message on Facebook even, and I'll get back to you whenever I can. This is just my way of, you know, spending a little hour with the subscribers and answer a few questions. Now, before we begin, do know that I don't set any rules to what questions are asked, as in spoilers. I don't know what questions chat room are gonna ask. So if you're afraid of spoilers, I don't know what we could spoil, because Legion is mainly speculation at this point. Warlords of the Draenor's at the end. But who knows, I don't know what they're gonna ask. So just be warned ahead of time. Now, where the frick did my timer go? There we go. Voila. So chat room, we have begun. How y'all doing today? For those that decide to subscribe, I have turned off notifications, otherwise we'll hear like, good news everyone, as we're answering questions. That's no good. Let's see. Hello everybody. Do you think Green Jesus will die in Legion? Actually a good moment to answer a question that people ask me all the time. Will we pick up alternate realities Doomhammer? Is it possible that Thrall's gonna die in Legion? Yes, it is. They said that some are gonna fall and some are gonna despair. That's how we're gonna get these artifacts. So my feeling is that there are a lot of important characters are gonna die in Legion. That's just my feeling though. I don't know. As much I've been lucky in the past and I've made a few predictions come true, I don't work for Blizzard, so I can't tell you who or what is or isn't gonna die. Is it possible? Sure. But it's also possible that, I don't know, Agra bites the dust, or perhaps Thrall's kids, or perhaps seeing so many Horde members will send Thrall in despair, and he's like, heroes, I have dedicated my life trying to battle this evil. I can't. Please take my Doomhammer and kick some ass. Good work. Could it be alternate reality Doomhammer? That could be it. But the problem is that alternate reality Doomhammer doesn't have the Frostwolf symbol on it. And the artifact that they showed does have the Frostwolf symbol on it. And the Frostwolf symbol came on it after the events of Draenor. Now, of course, they could always add the symbol to it. That's no problem. But it seems like it's going to be our Doomhammer. Do I have any pets in real life? No. I used to have a cat and a dog, but unfortunately not anymore. I'm still thinking about getting like a dog or a cat, but the problem with a dog is that I've constantly work at home, so the dog gets very attached to you, so whenever you go out or you go away for a few days, the dog's gonna go berserk. A cat I could do, but a cat doesn't have the affection that I'm looking for in a pet. You know, when a dog comes home, he's like very happy and excited, and when a cat sees you come home, he's like, feed me, now pet me, now leave me alone. Now I know that there are some exceptions when it comes to cats, but most of them respond to me in that way. So there is the idea and the plan of getting a pet, but not until next year, not until we've been to BlizzCon and done November and all that good stuff. And welcome all new subscribers, by the way. Noble, you get 1 million euros, but every birthday for the rest of your life you have to watch your parents conceiving you. Would you take it? No problem. In a heartbeat, no problem. Does that make me perverted? No, I don't care. I'll close my eyes. And do I have to watch? Fine, I'll watch them. Oh god. I don't know how long my father would last, but I hope it's not too long. And for $1 million, I would do a lot, man. How would you describe Dutch cuisine? You usually end up at boerenkool and hutskool when you think of Dutch cuisine. Which I don't even think are actually Dutch dishes. It's not sophisticated. Let's just say the potatoes and meat and vegetables, that's about it. As far as I know. A good advice for me to you is to check your donations. Let's see if we can. Hang on, 2 seconds. Wow, Nedev with the $50 donation. Thank you so much, man. That is incredibly generous of you, just to keep you going, so you can put in all your effort in the lore videos. Nedev, thank you so much, man. You absolute legend, you. Can we get some love for Nedev, everybody? Because that is freaking amazing. Thank you. Okay, you got me off my game now. I need to focus on the Q&A. Thank you, Nedev. I love you, baby. Right. Do you think that there will be more Gnome lore? I sure hope so. Those guys deserve their time in the spotlight. Does Legion offer a lot of room for Gnome lore? Not really. But yeah. But I hope so. Gnomes are freaking amazing, man. If they would ever offer the ability to make a Gnome Paladin, I would take it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Are there any legendary weapons that are not announced that you'd like to see? If so, which? For the next official Q&A, like the one with the numbers, I'm planning to make a list of suggestions of locations and weapons that you could use. A lot have been confirmed already, but I still got a few ideas. Are there any legendary weapons that are not announced that you would like to see? I would love to see a Roquetelar Longbow of the Ancients. The bow that you could get in the Epic Hunter questline back during Classic. It looked like shit. The melee weapons you got with it were like 3 little staffs duct taped together, like the druid starting staff. But just the idea behind it was beautiful. Sadly, I no longer have that hunter account, so I don't have the weapon anymore. But to get a hunter transmogged in that would be freaking amazing. What do you think about Jaina? Although it's not really a legendary weapon, huh? It's still legendary to me, damn it. What do you think about Jaina? Will she make an appearance in Legion? I would be highly surprised if she doesn't. Khadgar's gonna take over leadership of the Kirin Tor and Dalaran, and Jaina's gonna walk away pissed. I would be very surprised if there is not some sort of storyline connected to that. What and why and how? Very hard to say. It seems like she's pissed again at everybody. I'm hoping that she won't become the bad guy. I really, really hope that Blizzard is wiser than that. And Jaina deserves simply more. But time will tell, man. What's an Arator? You have to be a little bit more specific, Chooser. What do you mean? What's an Arator? Do you think that the Ancients return to fight the Legion again? I'd imagine so. We've seen a fair few of them return during the Cataclysm, where if you quested in Mount Hyjal, you actually helped Jared Shadowsong with bringing back the Ancients like Cenarius, Aviana, Goldrin. I would love to see more, man. There was also this Boar Ancient. Now, I think he was stuck in Razorfang Crawl at the time. But this Boar Ancient that just charged into the Legion army and just spiked everybody on top of him. That would be freaking brilliant to see back in battle. So I hope so. Why do I think Illidan has been influenced by the Skull of Gul'dan, his soul, ever since he used it in Warcraft 3? You tell me, King Karasu, why do you think that? Like, how am I supposed to answer why you think what you think? But are you asking, like, is it possible that the Skull of Gul'dan influenced Illidan? For sure. We know that the Skull of Gul'dan was able to communicate even beyond the grave. He's done it with Ner'zhul, he's done it with Khadgar, possibly even Deathwing. So for sure that's a possibility. But I hope that Blizzard has some sort of storyline going on with that. That would be really cool. Get a cat, maybe. Will the Prophet appear in more machinimas? That's a question you have to ask Nixium. I would love to, man. I love doing voices for Machinima. So whenever Nixium needs me, all he has to need to do is ask. And all you need to ask, I'll be there. I'll be there. Don't you worry, baby. I'm sorry, this is going up on the YouTube, isn't it? What are your favorite pop culture references in World of Warcraft? Like real life references? I would say Link in the Unguro crater. The reference to Link from Legend of Zelda, that one was freaking amazing. The hatch from Lost was pretty damn cool. It's not so much a reference as it is an homage, but I like the Williams one that they did, the Genie. But there have been a ton that have really been cool. Get a Nibbler as a pet, My cat used to get excited as a dog would, yeah, right. During the Legion announcement trailer, Khadgar swooped into Stormwind Keep as a crow, or raven, whatever, to speak to Varian and Anduin. During the Kilrock fight on the Alliance side, you fight along Khadgar and Stormwind Keep, but Varian and Anduin are nowhere. What do you think will happen? Hard to say. Again, I'm not really the prophet. Is it possible that we'll join Khadgar in some sort of final battle against the Legion at Stormwind Keep and Undercity? Sure, it's possible, but only time will tell. I'm still not 100% convinced, because we also had the visions of Soridormi dying. We had the visions of all the heroes spiked upon Stormwind. But it's a possibility for sure. Are you gonna pull it out today? Oh man. That had me cracking up, man, during the Fatball stream. It was so much fun. Croquette. Yeah, but I can't really call croquette a cuisine, now can I? Okay, I see Maiev hates Illidan and beats him at the top of the Black Temple. I see that. But there's one thing I can ask. If she has no purpose any longer, can she change anger to love and has some affair with Illidan? Equalizer next Monday. We're gonna do part 2 of Maiev's Shadow Song, in which we go further into the storyline after the events of the Black Temple. Could she fall in love? Like a Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing? I would love to see it. I would love to see Illidan kick Tyrande to the curb. Like, you've never been any good to me. Whatever I'm trying to do good in the world, do it for you, for my love for you. You kick me out. You've chosen Malfurion, fine. I'm gonna team up with Maiev now, and we're gonna freaking rule the world. If that ever happens, I'll join Team Illidan Maiev in a heartbeat. I ship that. But I fear that's never gonna happen. Maiev is batshit crazy, and she hates Illidan. Illidan has tortured her, and she spent 10,000 plus years of her life keeping him guarded. I fear that realistically speaking, there's no love relation there. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't love to see it, but I fear that after we set free the Demon Hunters, Maiev is going to be pretty damn pissed at all of us, and she's coming back for revenge, and that will lead into some storyline with her brother Jared Shadowsong, and we'll have to take care of you. Her. We'll have to take care of you. Do you think that Malfurion will hear about Illidan's return? And if he does, what do you think he will do? I'm pretty damn sure he will. And what will he do? Well, it's a good thing that I just read Wolfheart, so I've been a little bit reading up to what they actually said at the end. They feel responsible for Maiev, as much as you can blame Malfurion and Tyrande for Illidan's actions, and I still blame them. They do feel responsibility themselves for what happened to Maiev, that she was tortured, she gave up her life, she went insane. So what will happen? Last time Maiev and Malfurion were close was that Malfurion was in her trap and he was being tortured by her and nearly killed. So I don't think Malfurion will like Maiev very much, and I assume Tyrande will feel the same. So she's a threat that needs to be taken care of, and how that will develop. Let's first see how Maiev is actually introduced in the storyline and what she will actually do. Do you know the story of Drakuru? Isn't that the troll from the Northrend area? If that's the one... let me Wikipedia it. Hang on. Drakuru. Drakuru is a Drakari troll who rises from being prisoner at Granite Springs to being overlord of Volterra's Oh yeah, it is that one. The player interacts with him from when he is first encountered to when he is finally slain by the Lich King. The wandering adventurers first encountered Drakuru when he is assigned to capture an ice troll for Samir at Granite Springs. Drakuru proposes a truce with the character, offering to share his knowledge of Drakfaron Keep, though the use of an alchemical potion? Chemical potion, the characters maintain contact with Drakuru, who guides him in a journey to collect several artifacts to make the Keep impervious. The adventurer summons Drakuru at the top of Drakfaron Keep, where he reveals that he was actually betraying the Drakari Empire to the Lich King. Drakuru is awarded the Keep and the risen dead minions from it, and charged with cleansing Zuldrak, he offers the adventurers a position in Zuldrak. So that's the troll dude. We help him out and he becomes like the overlord that sells us people to the Lich King. And then we take care of him. Or actually the Lich King takes care of him and then tells us, next time I won't be so merciful. How many times does Thrall fap? Not that many. Thrall seems to get it on every single expansion, dude. Popping kids out left and right. Mekatork will be the only hero left. He will claim his spotlight soon enough, right? Is a most of Queen Azara's power from the Well of Eternity. It will make her not that powerful as everyone's saying she is. When Night Elf mages in War of the Ancients were cut from the Well of Eternity, most of them lost the majority of powers. Or counter picture could be how powerful Ronin was in War of the Ancients, thanks to the Well of Eternity. That is a good question and a good observation. Now what I'm thinking about is at the end of War of the Ancients, as the Well of Eternity starts imploding, Azara still has the power to create this powerful shield to keep the water out, right? And then later on, Illidan created a new Well of Eternity underneath Nordrassil. And we've seen many Highborne. That's it. No, sorry. When the Well of Eternity imploded, the magic was not simply gone. The magic, as far as I understand it, like blew up and went in through the air throughout the world, which is why mages can call powers from there. I believe that's the explanation. So the powers are not entirely gone, they're just scattered, and you can't really tap into the well anymore. And of course there are also the ley lines to consider. The ley lines are the lines of power spread across Azeroth, where people also can draw power from. She could also tap into that. So does her power, is it connected to the Well of Eternity, as you ask? It's hard to say, actually, it's hard to say. But even if it was connected to the Well of Eternity, there was a reason why she was the queen. There was a reason why she was so powerful. If Azara drew her powers from the well, so did the other Highborne. And none of them matched her level as close as to our command. So, did her powers disappear when the well was exploded? I'm not sure, it's a very good question. But that's not to say that she was already powerful in her own right, and now she's been backed up by the old gods. A force to behold, a force to be reckoned with, for sure. Did Maiev and Illidan have sex? Uncertain. She was tortured as she was Illidan's prisoner, but other than that, we have no clue. Why did Thrall stop banging Jaina? Thrall has never banged Jaina. Speaking of your love for Jaina, if she were to die in this expansion, really hope she does not, how do you think she will go? Sacrificing herself for the one she loves, possibly Kalik. When will you make a video of Ysera? Hard to say. Ysera is definitely on the list, but I had a little poll up where people could vote, like which one do you want to see first. My goal with the channel is to one day have all the Warcraft story on it. So one day I want to cover each and every storyline. I just can't give you a date because my schedules are very flexible. I can actually... 2 seconds. I actually made a little schedule to the end of the month. And I can't show you this, but my schedule was that I was going to do the 31st of August. I was going to do my F part 1. That was the planning, which I did. And then Monday, 7 of 9, I would do the story of Rhaegar Earthfury. But then I realized that my F had such a big storyline that I had to do it in 2 parts. So even though that this is like only the start of my planning, it's already gone. So yeah, if it wasn't the end of the year, I wouldn't make a planning like this. It's just a little bit of an indication of when I would like to do things. But it's very flexible and up in the air when exactly I'll do things. Do you think we'll get a novel before the release of Legion? Good question. I know that Christy Golden is working on a novel tied in with the Warcraft movie, which is set for 2016. But no release date has been given. And considering that we don't really know when Legion is going to release either, it's very hard to say. I hope so. More lore is always welcome, but who knows. Are you familiar with the old series Elric of Melnibone and the parallels with Arthur's character story? Some neat parallels there. Nope. I am not. But I do know that Arthur's storyline is connected to, or at least paralleled to a lot of storylines. So actually a forum topic the other day, how Arthur's storyline was pretty much a rip-off of Darth Vader from Star Trek. Haha, Star Wars. But you know, a good guy falling to darkness has been used many, many times. And the major difference that I argued in that topic was that lightsabers don't suck people their souls out. Nor did, as far as I know, Darth Vader resurrect the dead. So in that regard, you know, there's always... When you go back, stories are as old as time. And no real story is ever unique anymore. There are always parallels to be drawn. Now, like I said, I don't know the storyline. I don't know the book that you're talking about. Perhaps it's very similar, I don't know. But just keep in mind that a good guy falling to the dark side is something that's been used many times before. And I'm hoping, that's why I'm hoping that they'll use Anduin in a different manner. A lot of people are saying, like, Anduin was also this good guy and they're gonna put his faith to the test. I'm hoping Anduin is gonna be the exception. That Anduin actually does right. Faces the same trials and challenges that Arthas had to face. Only he doesn't fall to the dark side and actually becomes the good guy, the purified light guy. I would love to see that. Since Maiev was the only one who appointed Watchers to become Wardens, and was the only one allowed to do so, are there never going to be new Wardens? No. After Maiev returned to the Night Elves, she made the Watchers once more. And then they found out she was crazy. And then they gave the job to Jared Shadowsong, her brother. And as we can see with Cordana Felsong, I believe she has the title of Warden. Jared is handing out the title as well. So, nope, there are still going to be wardens. Noble, you get 100,000 euros a year, but every time you wake up, your dominant arm is paralyzed from shoulder to fingertips, and the only way to undeaden it is you need to touch someone's dick. It needs to be a different dude each day that year if you want to use your arm. No. No, sorry, that's like 10,000 a month. No, that's not enough, dude. No. I'm thinking, how much would I have to pay for a lawyer to explain things? You know, get dental work when they punch my teeth out. It's not gonna work. Like, make it 1 million and I'll do it. But what, 100,000 a year? Nah. Is there any lore? Although, I could of course just keep my arm paralyzed, shoulders to fingertips. That's fine. Oh, that's actually, that's not so bad. I can do things with my left hand. Sure. I'll take it, man. No problem. Is there any lore about the Old War, 16,000 years ago? The Old War, Jacob? Hang on. The Old War. Wow, I'm gonna look it up. The Old War. Wowpedia. War between the Titans and the Old Gods? Is that one that you mean? Because I don't know if they described that as the Old War. I think that the timeline, if we look at the official timeline, Warcraft. Hang on, I think they start counting at the War of the Ancients. Yeah, they start counting from the War of the Ancients, so 10,000 years ago. But if you're talking about the origin of Azeroth, where the Titans face off against the Old Gods and they imprison him, that's described within... and the Ordering of Azeroth. I think Titans and the Ordering of Azeroth, something like that. And that's an in-game book that you can find. What do you think they plan on doing with Illidan Stormrage in the next expansion? Would love to hear your thoughts. I actually talked about this in the latest Q&A with a number. Kajeli, so look that one up. Short version is that I believe Illidan is going to start off as either being forced to work for the Legion, been tortured into working for the Legion, or some reason that he has to work for the Legion. Then later, it's going to be like, fuck the Legion, and he's going to fight against the Legion, and we're not going to be buddy-buddies. You know, there's just a lot of tension between Illidan and those that farmed him every single week to steal his weapons. But it's going to be sort of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal. I think that's what we can expect. Madsen has said many times that he loves the redemption story. We've seen a picture of Illidan striking out at Gul'dan, so that's going to be part of it. So like I said, he's not going to be the good guy. He's not going to be the bad guy. He's just going to be somewhere in between, and he's eventually going to turn against the Legion. You're the prophet in my eyes. Any news about the Master Bader achievement? Nope. Who do you think will be the end boss of Legion, or Hope? My hope is something in the direction of either Avatar Sargeras or fully summoned Kill Jaden. They're working on bringing the Dark Titan Sargeras into our world, so us jumping in the portal and just going to the Twisted Nether and try to hold off Sargeras as the portal's being closed, that would also make for a freaking epic moment. Imagine all these artifact weapons striking at Sargeras' toes like, no, bad Sargeras, you're not allowed to come in! And then other people are working on closing the portal, could make a very cool encounter. So those would be my picks, but it's very hard to say. I just hope that they won't go with Sargeras in his full power. That dude is just a pillar in the lore, right? You got Titans, you got Old Gods, and then there's Sargeras with the Legion. Trace back any storyline to its origin, and you end up at either of those three. And removing Sargeras from the storyline would just suck, and us being faced off against such a powerful being, that's no good. So, those would be my picks. Actually, the last suggestion of us jumping in the portal could be really cool, a la Broxigar. Would freaking love that. You mentioned that the Horde and Sket are fighting alongside them in the Undercity during the Kill Rock fight, and Gen and Sylvanas are going to play a big part of Legion. Do you think that there's connection there? Maybe. Cheater! Using Wowpedia. I know, right, Dennis? I actually saw a comment from someone the other day, which was something along the lines of Noble and his Wowpedia knowledge. And I was like, I don't know if I need to take this as a compliment or an insult. On the one hand, Wowpedia has every bit of knowledge stored on the page. So he's saying, like, Noble knows everything. On the other hand, I'm like, I understand that you're trying to insult me here, that I admit that I use Wowpedia to check my facts, but Do you honestly expect me to remember everything? Come on now. I thought Wowpedia got its facts from Noble. Oh shit, right? Fucking Chuck Norris. Arator, his dream that he talks about in Honor Hold, where he possibly sees his father die before him. We've talked about Alleria and Turalyon. Do you think that Arator will be more involved? Very hard to say, Shuzer. I talked about this way back when, in my story of Alleria and Turalyon, and then later in a video called Nobody has seen Alleria and Turalyon in years. Blizzard has been hinting and mentioning and saying that, yeah, they're coming back, guys. And it's very hard to say if it's finally gonna happen. Are they really gonna happen? Could be. If you look back during the Mr. Pandaria launch, Madsen said that, yeah, for whatever's coming next, you're gonna need Alleria and Turalyon. Then we got Warlords of Draenor, where Alleria and Turalyon were not a part of it. And now we get Legion, where they are gonna be a part of it. So, I think it just supports the theory that Warlords of Draenor was really just a filler expansion. Just to keep us busy, not connected to the storyline, and more created to introduce us to these orcs of old, right, for the Warcraft movie. Which is interesting to think that during Mr. Pandaria launch, they were actually working on Legion already, and then they just came up with the idea of Warlords of Draenor. Interesting. I just realized that, by the way. So to your question, is their son going to be part of it? I hope so. Blizzard has a very bad track record when it comes to remembering old lore and adding those characters that deserve their spot. But I hope so, man. It would be awesome. Where did the power of the Well of Eternity come from in the first place? Titans created it. Does Jiraxis actually have a story? Nope, not more than what's said in the Grand Tournament. The Grand Tournament, yeah, what is said in the tournament area. Jiraxis summoned Eredar, Lord of the Burning Legion, kills Fizzlebang, and is sent by us back to the Nether probably, or maybe killed. What are you gonna do when you did all the Warcraft stories? I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna sit on my island and be Prophet Noble. And then whenever somebody comes to me and they're like, I remember you! You were Prophet Noble, aren't you? And I'm like, yes, my child, what's your question? No, I don't care about WoW lore anymore, but thanks. Nah, this is actually part of the reason why I keep playing different games, even though people tell me, like, this is not why I'm subscribed. I understand when people are subscribed for a certain thing, that that's what they want to see. But as a YouTuber, you can't connect yourself to one single game. You can't just do one thing that is not an infinite source. Like, one day I'm gonna run out of Warcraft storylines, so I have to keep on trying new things, have to keep on trying to bring up new content, like the Warcraft podcast that I did, like the Let's Plays, like whatever in between, to see what sticks, what can I carry on once I'm done with the Warcraft stories. Now don't worry, I don't expect to be done next year, I don't expect to be done the year after, but eventually, at some point, the pool is gonna run dry. I've got a little project in mind. I might actually get Alex from Fatbust in on it, which is not so much going to be about Warcraft and all the more about storytelling. That's something I'm working on. It's still in the works, but we'll see where we're gonna go. But for now, I'm still enjoying every single moment Pakulia. Twitch is going well. I hope people will still be interested in what I'm doing, even when we're done telling their stories. And we'll see where we're going from there, man. What's the Legion buzzword going to be? Never want to hear Savage again. Savage. Legion is gonna be, you are prepared. Finally. Something like that. By the way, orcs related to Turks in many ways, and if you research the War of Independence in Turkey, you will see the resemblance in it. Yeah, there are lines that you can draw to real life history. I just don't like it, because you end up in discussions like Jaina's, like Hitler, and I'm like, it's a fantasy story. You can't really compare the impact of someone like Hitler to a fantasy story, because the fantasy story doesn't have any impact. So I can see that people draw similarities between the storylines, but the impact is just much different, you know, and it makes for very skewed arguments. Thank you very much, Cabone. Be welcome, man. Fell! Can we expect the Army of Light in Legion? It's a great expansion for Anduin to start building on a storyline, with someone like Turalyon coming back, one of the biggest, baddest paladins that the Alliance have ever seen. Like, that dude could communicate directly with the light before it was cool. He spoke with something that we speculate was a Naru before Velen and the Draenei even showed up. Well, that's not true. No, I have to correct myself. He did it in Beyond the Dark Portal, but he did it in the first one on Azeroth. That counts for something, right? So Turalyon was pretty damn epic. Bringing him back into the storyline, combined with Anduin being pushed in his faith, possibly his father dying or possibly something happening, I think this could be the moment to bring someone like Anduin on the path of maybe a paladin. Maybe Valen's vision was not entirely correct, and we'll just see Anduin, holier than thou, leading the army of light for sure. Now, will we see that battle? I hope not. I hope it's a preparation. Maybe the next expansion will take us into outer space, and that's what would take place with the army of light. My hope is still that they use the RTS setting for it, because more troops can be placed on screen in the RTS, and the effect is just way bigger. But I wouldn't say no to the Army of Light in-game as well. I wouldn't say no to it. If Titans are the most powerful beings in the universe, how come that Titanium and Titan Steel are not the strongest metals in WoW? It's up for grabs. If Titans are actually the strongest beings in the universe, they can always create something new. And same name does not equal same being. I know it was a childish question. Whatever. Noble, you get 10 million euros, but every time you pee, it's solid noodle spaghetti that you have to pull out. Its length is determined by how badly you need to pee. Would you do it? Also, your jizz becomes dust. Tricky. I think I would. 10 million euros is a lot of money, man. I think I would. Yeah. Do you think Sylvanas loves the Forsaken, or are they just being used, and do you think she will become evil? Right now, Sylvanas her only love for the Forsaken, and as much as the Forsaken players, I already know it, in the comments are gonna disagree, gonna say that their Forsaken Queen loved them, it's described as, she sees them as her bulwark against the infinite. They used to be arrows in a quiver, shot off against the enemy with no, regard for their lives. Now they're her bulwark against the infinite walls that she's building up, so that she stays alive. That's why I actually love her description on the website for Legion, where they say like Sylvanas now has to make her choice. Are her people as important to her as her own life and the damnation that awaits? I think that's a great storyline, and either her fans are gonna be heartbroken and Sylvanas is gonna be like, fuck you Forsaken, I'm out. Or her fans are gonna be like, see, my queen loves me. You non-believers, she loves me! And she sacrificed herself for her people. That's the way I see it. Hodor. Indeed. Alleria and Turalyon were last seen in Outland, right? Nobody's seen them since. So if we see them in, say, Suramar, who didn't notice them walk through the Dark Portal? There's people on both sides. We haven't seen them since Beyond the Dark Portal. The ending of Beyond the Dark Portal. And not even Khadgar can tell us what happened to them. It's possible that they found a rift on Outland. They stepped through it and they ended up in the Twisted Nether, where they have been fighting the Legion ever since. And now the Gul'dan comes to Azeroth. He makes this rift where the Burning Legion comes out of. And bam! They're back. There's this weird little hint that they placed within the Lunarfall Inn, where you're sent into the Shadowmoon Burial Grounds to find some sort of hint for Alleria being there, and you actually find it. You find like an arrowhead, and the person explains like, yeah, I'm looking for Alleria. So how the fuck did Alleria end up on Alter Draenor? Perhaps she's been rift hopping together with Turalyon. Perhaps they've been taking a little honeymoon, or perhaps they've been fighting all this time. We don't know who the person was that was looking for them. We don't know any continuation of this whole storyline of this treasure hunt, but one reason could be that they popped in one of the portals and they ended up in the portal that Gul'dan created. That's one of the explanations they could give. Howdy, fellow Blados. Welcome. If you could choose 3 people in the current lore, so since Medan is retconned, he can't be picked, that you could kill off to improve the quality of the lore, who would it be? None. Is that a weird answer? I really don't have anything that desperamental of a character that needs to be cut out, except for Medan. But apparently Medan is already cut out by Blizzard. And the reason why I don't like Medan is that he screws over Medivh's storyline at the end of Warcraft 3. So that would be the only character, the rest can all stay. My 2 major problems with the lore. The major one is right now is that the Twisting Nether transcends all realities. That makes ball sense. So I would like to see that one reversed. And dragons no longer be able to reproduce, but that's just personal taste. The rest I'm all fine with, man. Please do me a favor, say hi Andreas, and I will keep being sub for ages. Hi Andreas! What is the lore of the Broken Isles, and was it there Thrall met Sen'jin? Broken Isles were part of the Night Elf Kingdom that was swept below the sea when the Well of Eternity imploded. Many years later, the Guardian H-Wind used it to create the Tomb of Sargeras. She battled with something called the Avatar of Sargeras. Was not the real Avatar, was not the real Sargeras, sorry. Was not the real Sargeras, was just his avatar. She battled with him, she defeated him, and she locked him within something known as the Tomb of Sargeras, but was actually part of that kingdom. She locked it away behind magics that could not be opened with any magics from Azeroth. But she did encounter magics from Draenor. So when she, pushed it down again, Gul'dan came out. He realized the Tomb of Sargeras was there. And he, together with his warlocks, they lifted it all up. And went into the Tomb of Sargeras to look for power. But unfortunately for Gul'dan, that's where, that's why he found his demise instead of power. And then later during the Warcraft 3 campaign, if you remember the whole part with Maiev and Illidan, Maiev actually explains that this was part of the Elven Kingdom, that powerful magic rose it up. And then, not Drakfar, Drakful? One orc that survived explains to Maiev that it was actually Gul'dan and his troops that got the Broken Isles up again. Which is part of the reason why it's so confusing that Blizzard says that there are like kingdoms that survived there for ages without being noticed, even though Gul'dan rose it like 20 years ago, but that's Blizzard for ya. And is that where Thrall met Sen'jin? No, I think they, not the Broken Isles, but the something else, I think, but let me look it up. Thrall, Sen'jin. Wasn't it the Lost Isles or something like that? Darkspear Trolls, blah blah blah, Vision. It just says island. I would have to look up the campaign, man. I don't know from the top of my head if they were actually the Broken Isles. If somebody in the chat room knows, by all means, fill it in. But I would have to look it up further. Was it the Lost Isles? I don't know. Could be. I don't think it was the Broken Isles. Don't think so. Why didn't Arthas resurrect Ufir? Because he didn't. Ah, the Arakai. Do you prefer coffee or tea? Coffee. But late at night I prefer tea. Where would you speculate the Broken Isles will be? I've heard people say that if you look at Azeroth, there should be these little islands, but it should be closer to the Maelstrom, like here. That's where the Broken Isles should be. Here-ish. And welcome again, all new subscribers. How close are the Broken Isles to the old Zandalari Empire? Will there be even more trolls, man? Been a long time since we killed some trolls. I think they should be damn close. Like all in that same area, but considering that they haven't announced it. Didn't they like add a picture of the Broken Isles? With all the little islands that were gonna be part of it? I believe it should be close, or at least nearby, but I don't know, man.
I don't know!
Do you think we'll see Alleria and Turalyon demon hunting starting area? Could also be a very good place that they were sent away on a special mission. Perhaps Illidan had found out about Alleria and Turalyon some way, somehow, and he sent his Illidari to track him down. I'm very curious as to what that special mission is going to be about, man. What's the story behind the suffering anguished Highborne in Winterspring? And what's the crystal they are talking about? Yeah. Highborne, Winterspring. I am getting a lot of questions that I need to look up today. Hang on. And it's also very hot today, I have to say. I'm just looking up the quests. Pride of the Highborne. 10,000 years ago, the Highborne lived here in prosperity. We considered ourselves above the common ranks of the other Night Elves. With our every need met by magic and wealth, we led lives of indulgence and amusements and greed. The spirits you see here are overwhelmed with remorse and regret. The anguish changed them here. If you wish to learn more of Tirion and Zinmalor, free them of their agony. The crystals were stolen from a far-off temple without remorse. Its ability to control the arcane was too tempting, and what was toyed with? Its shattering cursed us all. Tirion suffered until the Sundering destroyed it for good. The curse of Zinmalor binds all who seeks its power here. I was the first to fall to its temptation. Thousands of years later, our long-lost descendants would be next. So, Crystal gave you power over the arcane, tempting, and cursed. Echo Isles, Lost Isles. Oh, there you go. Fuck me, it's hot, everybody. But that's a good question, Fellblade. Check out... Just Google Highborne Winterspring, man. It will take you far. Huffer lore. Huffer always goes face. Is there any chance you could tell that which powerful weapon you want to own in real life? Which weapon would I want to own in real life? That's a good question. I don't know, actually. I'm thinking Frostmourne. He's stealing souls, bringing back the dead. That sounds pretty damn sweet. I'll take Frostmourne, man. Future boss for Khadgar's lost. What now? Oh, you mean Cordana Fellsong? Yeah, that's definitely a possibility for a future boss. Are there too many major characters being thrown into Legion? Seems unfocused. It does, Powder Toast Man, and it's going to be very challenging to give everybody the proper, moment in the spotlight. I fear that they're, overreaching. But on the other hand, it's also very cool. If they deliver, and if they actually put some effort in this expansion, it has potential. That's for sure. I hope it just delivers. What happened to Riseborn? Oh man, you don't want to know. Tomorrow the weather will change, won't be so warm anymore. Fantastic. What's your least favorite alliance race? And the same for Horde. What are you talking about? Lore-wise? Gameplay-wise? What is my least favorite alliance race? Huh. I like all of them. Is that an answer? I like all of them. And the same for the Horde. Is that weird? Story-wise then, eh? For playing I have a favorite, which is humans, but that's more because of the racial and the starting area, but yeah. So Illidan is back. How do you think they will develop him? I really hope they don't go Garrosh on his ass. Ludda, I actually answered this one before. My prediction is gonna be, first he's working for the Legion, later on he turns into not so much the good guy, but more in the sense of the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of way. You have been noticed, Jacob. Through sacrifice, think the demons will see Illidan's past, or if not, I can't see them joining either the Alliance or the Horde with good reason. Oh, you're talking about demon hunters, yeah? Maybe plot twist Illidan always knew that the world had to come for him? Maybe? It's very hard to predict what the reason is going to be why we're going to join either Alliance or Horde as demon hunters. Could also be that we're given a second chance after being imprisoned and now we're let loose, but with the side note that we have to work for the Horde or Alliance. That could also be it. Gnomes are the worst. I disagree. Is Dalaran still Horde free, as in Horde will be welcome back into Dalaran at the start of the next expect? Horde are welcome. Khadgar's gonna take over leadership of Dalaran and Jaina's gonna be pissed and she's gonna leave. The sad part is that they never updated Dalaran in a way to reflect Jaina's leadership. I just realized that Ronan has always remained leader, and now they're gonna update Dalaran for Legion. He's gonna move there, but there's also gonna be old Dalaran for leveling up. Now I wonder if Ronan is finally gonna be replaced, which I doubt, because they'll have nobody to scream up to the skies. So Jaina is never gonna be truly represented as leader, as in chilling in Dalaran. That's kinda sad. I mean, gameplay-wise, which Horde and Alliance races do you dislike playing the most? Like, which one you pick least? I think I'll go with Goblins, because I don't like the Goblin starting area. And the same goes for the Draenei. I don't like the Draenei starting area. Isn't there gonna be some awkward tension between Gul'dan and Illidan, since Illidan had some sexy time with Gul'dan's skull? Really? Skull fucking now. Check out Nixion's video about that, by the way. Pretty damn funny. But yeah, it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be like, hey Gul'dan, I remember you. Hey look, old McPeppy at a farm. Hee-ya-hee-ya-ho. Daddy's girls, love it. Bane, Sylvanas, Lorfmar, Vol'jin entered an arena. Only one can leave. Who do you think is the best odds? Sylvanas. Sylvanas is gonna... Like, Bane and Vol'jin are buddy-buddy. And Sylvanas is gonna persuade Lorfmar to fight with her. And at first Lorfmar is gonna be like, screw you, I'm gonna do this alone. So Bane and Vol'jin, they tag team Lorfmar and they kill him. Sylvanas is like, okay, you didn't want to serve me in life. You will serve me in undeath. And she resurrects Lorfmar. He's forced to fight for her. And now we have 2 ranged versus 2 melee. And as you might know, ranged can kite melee any time of day. Bane is the first one to fall. And of course Vol'jin is going to try to use... not Voodoo, not Mojo. Fuck. Loa. He's going to try Loa against Sylvanas. But Sylvanas is her own magic. And she resurrects Bane, who grabs Vol'jin from behind, and then, pew! And then there's gonna be some awkward tension between Gul'dan. Oh, we already did that one. She always has Fedamore. Wait, no. Who do you think would win in a one-on-one magic duel? Ronin or Khadgar? Very tough, but I would give it to Khadgar. Do you know what happened to High Lord Tirion Fordring after the fall of the Lich King? And do you think that we will see him in the upcoming expansion? Tirion returned home to Hearthglen, where they've been working on cleansing the Plaguelands. And then he is going to play a part in Legion. We are going to get the Ashbringer. How, why, and what, we don't know. Could be that he falls to despair, could be that he dies. Who knows? So that's his part in the role. Do you think that Gul'dan's skull, since it can still talk beyond that, will talk to Gul'dan and be best buddies? And how awkward will Illidan feel about this? Very, very awkward. Like, are you talking to yourself? No, I'm talking to my skull. What did he say? He said, talk to my skull. Vol'jin is a freaking shadow hunter, yeah? Yeah, that he is. You get a kick-ass dog, the best dog ever. It can do everything you want it to be able to do and is very active and playful. However, no one else can see this dog, and there's no way for you to prove this dog exists. And as soon as you start neglecting it, it disappears. Would you do it? Yeah, why not? Why would I care that other people don't see this dog? It's my bestest buddy. If I wanna sit here, I'm like, good doggy, and you're like, what the fuck is he doing? He's petting his dog. Like, who cares? Like, I won't go, you know, I won't shove my imaginary dog in people's faces. Like, look at my imaginary dog, that just draws attention, but I'll take my doggy for walks. Evening Woodsy. Is there any alliance leader that could 1v1 Thrall? No. Thrall's Thrall, you know, he's Wonder Boy. We know out of the Horde leaders, Garrosh didn't last long against Thrall, right? Do you think the Plaguelands will ever be cleansed? They've been at it a long time. They need to hire better janitors, right? Maybe one day. I'm sure that there will be another plague to corrupt it all, but who knows? Don't know if this has been asked, but will you make a lore of Gen Greymane? Yes, on the list. Like I said, I wanna one day do all the storylines. So it's definitely on the list. Check out for now. Check out my story of Sylvanas part 3, where I talk a little bit about the Gilneans and the Worgen storyline. But a full story is still on the list. You have to take it out for walks and play it in the parks. Well, that kind of sucks. Like, take it out for walk. But it is the bestest dog ever, right? So if I ask it... You told me, Riceborn, that it would do anything that I ask of it. It can do anything. So if I tell it to walk itself, it would walk itself, right? Petting his dog is like petting the rabbit. No feeding the rabbit, mate. Yep. Do you think that we will see a new alliance leader instead of King Varian Rin? It could be the Varian dies and that Anduin take up the mantle of leader. That's a possibility. It could also be that the full force of the Alliance kind of shatters and they no longer have this overlord leader. Instead, they're all individual factions again. Could also be a thing. Velen could 1v1 for all. Nope. He'd probably be sad about it, right? He'll probably negotiate peace first and then for all is like, for the Horde! And then he's dead. What about Bane in Legion? Will he play a part? Not described yet. Could he have a role? Sure, all the leaders could have a role in it. But does it fit? I don't really see any connections to Bane in the storyline as it's been announced right now. Lord Greymane is a badass. Siege of Orgrimmar and cinematic can prove me wrong. He is. Tronda, Jaina, Euro and Lady Liadrin get together for gossip. Who is the most likely man they'll talk about? For all. When in doubt, go well. Answers always go well. If Varian dies and Anduin takes over, I move into the Horde. Well, during Classic, Anduin was the leader of the Alliance. Would you have sex with a dog if you got 1 million euros? No. No, I still have to live with myself. There are Tauren in the Broken Isles. There could be the connection to Bane finding his roots. Yeah, I suppose, but... There were also Tauren in Pandaria. There were also Tauren in Northrend. And none of them were like, okay, let's get back to our roots. It was more like, hey, there are different variations of Taurens here. So yeah. Coltra the Weaver, what about him, Powder Toast Man? Q&A, am I late? You've reached the final 10 minutes of it, Wormy Master. Who was the leader of the Lines of Lordaeron? At first it was Anduin Lothar. Leading the forces, that is. And then later Turalyon picked it up. And they chose Lothar because he was more neutral compared to all the other leaders of all the other kingdoms. Any news? New lore about Coltra, or Sylvanas still using him as a personal sex doll? We have no idea what Sylvanas is doing with Coltra. He was taken to Undercity during Wrath of Cataclysm. No idea what she's doing with him. Howdy Akbala. Welcome, welcome. If the barber shop in Stormwind did Anduin's hair, you know, the character's model, not the cinematic, how come that place isn't out of business? Because I think Varian would be pissed about the botched haircut. We know, Anduin is a teenager. You can do whatever you want. Who are the weaker claws? Monk or warrior? I would say warrior is weaker than monk. I meant Sylvanas and Liadrin we're talking about. Monk is a better healer, right? Get that mist, yo. Get those mists. Right, everybody. Beloved subscribers. Are there any questions left? Otherwise, I'm going to open up the chat room for everybody. And just make it a massive, massive Q&A. I think we're going to do that. Would I post nudes if I would get 1 million? Sure. But only on websites that would allow it. And not get me banned on YouTube or Twitch. Come on, man. 1 million for nudes? Fuck me. Playboy doesn't pay that much. Do you think Magni Bronzebeard will return? Hopefully. It could also be a Caverns of Time kind of thing. Is there a chance that the Broken Isles weren't entirely raised from the water? Could be. Is Centaur gives you a... Are DK undead like the Forsaken? No, they are raised in a different way, but they are undead. Why don't we see Blood Elf Forsaken? Because that would cause Blizzard to update the Forsaken models, and it's a lot easier to keep them a standard model instead of all the different race variations. Lore-wise, it's very possible that Sylvanas can res all of them. Can you do a Tauren lore video, like about Bane, Cairn and Hamun Rune Totem on the list? Do you think they will see the full cult rest in the next expansion? Who knows? And if we do, give it the same fate as Fedamore? Who knows? Time will tell. Do you know anything about the building between the trade district and the old town? It's like the opposite of the Stockades dungeon. Nope. Nope. But what if you had to do it in order to see the ending of Legion? No one would ever be allowed to talk about it or show you, so you just never know what would happen. Which healer would you be? Or would you pass to know what happened? I'll happily play a healing paladin. Just expect yourself to die if you're making me heal. Hello, everybody! Be free, everyone. Hello! Be free. Freedom! Okay, it is a little bit crowded today, so we're gonna do this. Slow modes. Oh, unrecognized command. Oh, it's actually unrecognized. Right! I can do this. I can do this, everybody. I'll give you 2 million if you stay clothed, right? Okay. Who do you think would win in a fight to the death? Malfurion or Thrall? Always Thrall. Story Druid of the Fang. No story. Somebody actually asked me on this Facebook. There is no story. I know that there's a card Druid of the Fang, but there's no real idea behind it. And even the card description is a little bit funny. Is there any character who could take the role Leader of the Forsaken? Lillian Voss or Kaltara? But honestly, people will never accept anything else but Sylvanas. Would you rather see Warcraft 4 or Remastered 1 through 3? I'll take Warcraft 4. You think Varian become a boss? Nope. Favorite mounts? Excluding Jaina Proudmoore? Jesus. Invincible. Will Illidan become War Chief? Yes. Do you think Jaina will be part of Legion later on? Yes. Old God lore new expansion? Yes. Nizza. Next lore after my F, Q&A, and after that, I'm not entirely sure yet. Do I have the schedule here? On the agenda, I had Chen Stormstout, but it's probably gonna be Rhaegar Earth Fury. Yeah, we'll see. No promises. Why is Venom so small? Archimon and Kil'jaeden have the power to increase their size. Are you saying that Illidan is an anti-hero for Legion? That's my prediction. I'm not saying that it is, because the Legion isn't out yet. Nobody can tell you what the story is going to be. It's my prediction. If you stream vanilla, will you get banned? Yes. Will you be re-rolling to a Demon Hunter? I'll probably play it with Fury during the leveling series, but maining it kind of depends on how it plays and if I like it. Are you a fan of Walking Dead? Yes. Have you seen the new Fear the Walking show? Nope. Can you do a Torn lore video? On the list. What are your thoughts on whether or not Warcraft and Diablo are StarCraft same universe? They're not. Heroes of the Storm is where they come together, which kinda proves that they're not in the same universe. Are you a Horde? I'm Noble. I'm not neither Alliance or Horde. I play Alliance most of the time, but that's because I've been playing Alliance for 10 years. Story-wise on both sides. Do you think Varian will become a boss? Maybe. Don't think so, but who knows. Funny how that answer changed in like 5 minutes. No, I don't think so. What will happen in the Eastern Kingdoms if Gilneas is retaken by the Alliance? Parties? I don't know. Role-playing? What do you think of Sylvanas and Jaina dies and Jaina's take over the Forsaken? Could be cool. Are we going to see a Gorona return? Maybe. She's not been announced, so who knows? What all instant revamp you want on Legion? I don't have a preference in that regard, to be honest. I like all dungeons as they are. And if they want to update them, sure. What's the story behind Harpies? Where did they come from? Check out my Q&As. I've done them in one of the Q&As. I've answered that question before. For those who are wondering, like, how the hell am I supposed to find what questions you've already answered? In the latest Q&As with the numbers, in the description I've placed a list of a link which takes you to DeviantArt. And on DeviantArt I've placed a list with all the questions that I've answered in the past. Just do Ctrl F, type in Harpy or Harpies, and it will take you to the number, the link there. Good to go. What about Druids of the Fang for the Whaling's Cavern? Hang on, Druids of the Fang. Did I miss it again? Hang on. I'm gonna look this up. Was I thinking of a different Druid of the Fang? Oh, I'll be damned. Hang on. Druid of the Fang Hearthstone. Was I thinking of a different one? What was the description? Oh, I was thinking of a different one. What a Druid of the Claw then, yeah? Otherwise I'm losing my mind. What the fuck? Nope, not Druid of the Claw. There is another Druid that had a funny description. Whatever. Druid of the Fang. The Druids of the Fang were a group of Druids found in the Wailing Caverns. Once part of an order of noble Druids, the group, led by Naralek, sought to use the caverns underground spring to restore the barrens to the lush and fertile land it once was, using the powers of the Emerald Dream. And after that, they were caught by the Emerald Nightmare. A monstrous... fucking cool. A monstrous Murloc nightmare creature rose from the sea, and we liberated their asses and got them out of there. There is one of the Druid variations that has like a very funny description. I just don't recall which it is, sorry. Would you think about doing lore for Blizzard's other big series? I'm not that much into StarCraft and Diablo lore, but never say never. Do you think you're talking about Druids of the Flame? No, Druids of the Flame have a good storyline. Druid of the Saber? Hang on, Druid of the Saber, was that it? Yeah, there we go, Druid with Saber, that was it. Where the description says, that's Saber Teeth, not like the curved pirate blades. That's a different kind of Druid. Druid with the curved pirate blades, yeah, that is it. Thank you. I'm not losing my mind, thank fuck. How many minutes are we in, ladies and gentlemen? 58, almost there. And what realm is my paladin? Alliance paladin Tedokar, Horde paladin Ragnaros. And Ludder, yes man, on the list. What do you think about Night Elves being an evolved form of the Trolls? Can you see the resemblance between the North Trolls and the Night Elves? Because I can't. Haha. Yeah, they're confirmed to be descendants. Can you see the resemblance? Ears, skin color. They hate each other. Yeah. Would you be upset if Blizzard only revised the old expansions? What do you mean, co-opper? As in, this year we're just gonna revamp the old ones? No, not necessarily, if it brings new content to the game. And as long as it doesn't make me wait 2 years in the same old content, I'm all for it. Do you think that there's a higher chance for Blizzard to make Warcraft 4 now that they're done with StarCraft 2? Yes, there is a higher chance, yeah. Why is Queen Azshara in the expansion when she's tied to the Old Gods now? Because this, interestingly enough, is going to be the first time that the Old Gods and the Legion are actually going to team up. For years people have been asking like, what will happen if the Old Gods and the Legion are ever going to team up? We're going to find out, which is freaking fantastic. Oh, thanks Riceborn, now we'll be fine man. Thank you very much dude. What about Alleria? What part will they play in Legion? At least speculation. Very hard to say. I'm also reluctant to believe that they're actually gonna make a return, finally. If she comes back, somebody suggested that Sylvanas is gonna turn Alleria into the undead. And so, hi everybody! It's Teenage Noble here! Told you I was coming. But that she was gonna turn Alleria into the undead. And that Turalyon was gonna lead a crusade because of that. That could be fucking epic. But it's very hard to predict, dude. Was Corona and Draenor not our Corona? No, it was an alternate Corona. Why does Malfurion have tattoos like Illidan? Because tattoos are fucking cool. But you're playing as Horde right now, like this character you were on? Yes, this is Horde, yeah. Are going to see more PvP things? As in me playing PvP? I doubt it. The game? Yeah, we're gonna get the prestige system, which is gonna be awesome. What do you think about the Night Elf Tauren Druid couple in Mount Hyjal? No real opinion about it, to be honest. I did not even know that they were there. But that's kind of cool. Could you send me like a PM on Facebook or a tweet, Belvadas? To the names of those people? That's interesting. How about this? Alliance take back Lordaeron, Forsaken fall back to Strathholm. Cool. Why did you skip my questions? Because I can. Yeah, what time are we? We're 1 minute over time. Right, everybody. Hey, Mickey the Noble. Right, everybody. We have been doing this Q&A for over an hour now, so I'm gonna wrap it up. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if I did not get to your questions, you're always welcome to send me a private message on Facebook, and I'll get back to you whenever I can. Alternatively, you can also send me tweets on Twitter, but sometimes you can just get lost in notifications. You can always leave me comments down below the video as well. I do read them. I don't always respond, but I try to read most of them. It's just very difficult to respond to all the comments on the YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen of the chat room, thank you so very much for joining me today for the Q&A. And ladies and gentlemen on the YouTube, until next time, guys. See ya!